Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to All Things Green Month once again. And this is going to be a rant. I promise this will not take as long as Rogue One because this movie, I forgot about it a long time ago, but I do remember it was bad. I didn't care for it, and it's one of the weakest adaptations of a TV show that I actually liked in my life, that I watched recently, and that is the 2011 film version adaptation of The Green Hornet. All I can say is, what the hell were they thinking when they came up with this movie? Seth Rogen, really, Seth Rogen, the guy from freaking Pineapple Express and freaking This Is the End and Neighbors. This is your lead to play Britt Reed. Really, Hollywood. This guy playing a lead character from a TV show that I actually enjoyed from the '60s. I saw some of the '40s serials, but this was a disgrace. Like, I hated this movie when this was the worst movie I saw in 2011. I saw this on Netflix when I used to have DVDs sent to my house and on in the mail. And I saw this movie and I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? Jay Chow is one of the only good things in this movie as Kato, because we knew we couldn't replace Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was the reason to watch the original show, and I liked Van Williams. He just passed away last year. Rest in peace, sir. I miss you. He was the real Britt Reed. In this movie, Britt Reed is a partying douche nozzle. He doesn't smoke weed, but he's a douche nozzle, and he's a drunk, in some scenes, and he's an asshole to Kato, and he just leaves him for dead a lot of the times when they're in fight scenes. He doesn't do shit, and he's an asshole, and that's not what I wanted from my lead characters, the Green Hornet. The Green Hornet was not an asshole in the TV show. Even if you never watched the TV show, it's an insult. It's not funny. It's supposed to be a comedy. I didn't laugh once. There's a wasted talent here. You got James Franco in a cameo in the beginning of the film when he's talking to Christoph Waltz, who plays your villain, and he's horrible here. Like, this is after he won his Oscar for Inglourious Bastards, and he's a villain that people can't, they don't find him scary. And I'm like, I didn't find him scary at all either, because he sucked as a villain in this movie. You got Cameron Diaz completely wasted in this movie. All she's there for is to be freaking Britt Reed's love interest that he has no chemistry with. Sorry. Cameron Diaz does nothing for me here. She's supposed to be a reporter like the girl in the original show, and she does nothing. The film makes no sense either. Like, why is it when Kato fights people, it's the Terminator? He has these red vision, and he's like scanning people. I'm like, in the original show, Kato was human. He was not a freaking robot or an android. Why does this even make sense? It doesn't make any sense at all. Not a freaking lick of it. The special effects did nothing for me. The 3D things in my face, when Kato takes the freaking the bottle caps off and it just shoots into the air, that was stupid. The scene where he shoots him, Britt Reed shoots him with that green gas gun, that was not funny. That was just really forced. The action sequences are forgettable, and it's an over budget piece of shit. It really is. I don't know why this movie was made. For money, yeah, because it made money overseas. Thank God it didn't get a sequel. I'm sorry, Seth Rogen. I know you lost a lot of weight and everything for the role. You were trying to get dedicated, but I don't understand why this movie was. You wrote some of this movie with Adam Goldman or whatever. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was one of the Pineapple Express buddies. It didn't work. The script didn't work. It wasn't funny. It wasn't witty. There was forced curse words in the movie where Seth Rogen kicks a guy. Is like, eat shit and die or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that wasn't needed. You're trying to make an R-rated comedy into a PG-13 romp. That's not funny. It's forgettable. It's way too long. It's like, it feels like 2 hours long, and a comedy should never be that long. It should have been, this easily could have been 95 minutes at the most. This film is horrible. It's horribly written. It's not funny. It has the word green in it, so it counts. And it's a character that I actually liked in the TV show. It's an insult, just like Lost in Space was when that came out in '98. I hate this movie. I know I'm not like, oh God, this movie ruined my childhood. No, because I didn't see The Green Hornet when I was a kid. I saw the show in reruns on TV a couple years ago, but I liked the show. This bullshit excuse of an adaptation did not work for me. It's modernized. It's bullshit. It's not funny. Seth Rogen has no chemistry with the rest of the cast. The villain sucks. You have wasted cast members like James Franco and and Christoph Waltz and freaking Cameron Diaz, they do nothing in the film. The only good thing is Kato, and he's the only thing that's salvageable in the film. He's the only thing from keeping me from falling asleep because everything in this movie just fell apart. There's a reason that critics did not like this movie. They were very mixed on it. I hated it because I'm like, it was a good show, and you made it into a shitty film. Yeah, not much to say about Green Hornet. The only good thing is Jay Chow is Kato because he was trying. He's not Bruce Lee, but he tried. The rest of this cast did not try, and it shows on screen, and it showed at the box office. Because that 2011 was a great year for superhero movies because you had Green Lantern, which I think is way better than this. You had Captain America: The First Avenger, a really good freaking movie, which led to this, which is a great freaking movie, and you had the first Thor movie. There was no excuse for that freaking Green Hornet movie. I'm sorry. In a world where superheroes exist and in cinemas and they're making tons of money and they're actually good, this was a disgrace. And I hate this freaking movie. It can suck my dick because it just takes a great property and flushes it down the toilet, all of its potential. This film had potential to be decent. But unlike Charlie's Angels, it's an insult to the show and the shorts that were made back in the day. It doesn't even have the freaking theme of the Green Hornet. That awesome kick-ass theme. The car, it's okay, but it's kind of a rip-off of every car you've seen in cinema, like the Gadget Mobile, the Batmobile, or freaking the car from Back to the Future. Yeah, it's a car that has guns. Whoop de freaking do. I think if this was R-rated and Seth Rogen was not the lead and it was more like 21 Jump Street, then it would have been more watchable. But the fact that this movie got greenlit and PG-13 doesn't work for Seth Rogen. Most of the time, he's in R-rated comedies because he's good at it, and he can get away with more. And he's not shooting people in the face for gags. I'm sorry. And then there's a fight scene with him and Kato fighting over Cameron Diaz, and I'm like, Kato could kick your ass, Seth Rogen. Sorry. He can kick your ass. I'm not going to call him Britt Reed because this is not Britt Reed. Britt Reed, like I said, he was not an asshole in the show. Van Williams and freaking Bruce Lee had great chemistry as Kato and Britt Reed and as the Green Hornet. It didn't feel forced. And Van Williams actually did his own fight scenes. Rogan is just forced here, and I didn't buy him. And I'm sorry, the director, he's done better than this. He did Be Kind Rewind, which is supposed to be a good, decent comedy with Jack Black, and I like Jack Black. He's a better lead than Seth Rogen here. And he did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, an art house. He's an art house director. You don't get an art house director to direct a freaking action/comedy. That's like if freaking the director that did Saving Private Ryan, well, it was Steven Spielberg did that. So no, not cross that out. It's like the director of The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola, doing 23 Jump Street. It would make no freaking sense, especially now that he's old. It would make no sense. I'm sorry. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Scorsese did Hugo, and that was a kids' movie, but that was good. This is shit. And if you haven't seen it, don't. It's not worth your time. There are better superhero films or better adaptations of shows from back in the day that they made into movies that were way better than this. See 21 Jump Street. See freaking Charlie's Angels. It's actually fun. It's not boring. This movie got boring real freaking quickly within the first 30 minutes. It really did, and I don't know why this was made. It was a cash grab. I'm glad that this movie was, never got a sequel. It was just a stupid, stupid idea. Maybe if they did this movie in the 80s, it would have worked because Van Williams was still alive. Or in the 70s, like before Bruce Lee, I would have much rather him do a movie of Green Hornet in like the early 70s before he died than Game of Death. Just saying, he wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have died if he had done a Green Hornet movie. It would have been better because Get Smart, that was way better than this. That movie was made with actors that were competent and it was funny and it had good action sequences. This doesn't. Screw you, Green Hornet movie from 2011. It's a piece of shit. Anyway, that's my rant on the movie. I didn't want to go too in depth because I had a lot of stress this week. Winter's not in. It's not over yet. It's still cold out. It's windy like a mofo outside. But hey, I got through this review. and I know you guys will get through the rest of this winter as well. So thanks for watching, and screw the Green Hornet movie from 2011. It can suck it. Hollywood, you got to stop retreading things from the past and bringing them into nowadays, because a lot of the times it doesn't work. Remember that. So I will leave you with those words. See you in the next review.